The Galactic Military Academy's central arena fell silent as Cadet Emma Rodriguez stepped onto the crystalline combat platform. At 5 feet 4 inches and barely 120 pounds, she looked almost comically small compared to the towering alien cadets surrounding her. That's Earth's representative? The Krell commander's mandibles clicked in what could only be amusement. His exoskeleton gleamed under the arena lights, each plate thick as battle armor. I've seen larger prey insects. Laughter rippled through the assembled cadets. The Verdani, towering plant-based warriors, rustled their leaves in mockery. The silicon-based Quorath rumbled with what their translators rendered as contemptuous snorts. Even the diplomatic Etheri, usually so proper, exchanged knowing glances. Emma stood perfectly still, her brown eyes fixed on the center of the platform. She wore the standard Academy combat suit, but unlike the others, hers had no enhancement modules, no graviton boosters, no plasma shields. Just plain gray polymer and her own flesh underneath. Commander Thelkor, the Academy's superintendent, an ancient Zephyrim whose crystalline body refracted the light into rainbows, spoke with practiced neutrality. This is a sanctioned training exhibition. Please maintain proper decorum. Of course, Superintendent. Thelkor's voice dripped with false contrition. I merely expressed concern for the human safety. Perhaps she would prefer to observe rather than participate. Emma finally spoke, her voice carrying clearly across the arena despite its softness. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, sir. More laughter. Emma had become something of a phenomenon at the Academy over the past 3 months, though not for reasons she'd hoped. Her test scores were exemplary, her tactical analyses brilliant, but in every physical evaluation, she ranked dead last. When Verdani cadets lifted 1,000-pound weights, Emma struggled with 100. When Krell warriors moved with lightning speed, Emma seemed to lumber. In zero-gravity combat, while others soared gracefully, Emma flailed. The galaxy had developed faster-than-light travel 5,000 years ago. Humanity had achieved it barely 50 years past. Earth was the newcomer, the primitive backwater finally granted a seat at the table. And Emma Rodriguez was their ambassador to the Academy, chosen from billions. She was, by every measurable standard, the weakest cadet in Academy history. Very well, the superintendent announced. As per tradition, the lowest-ranked cadet will face a champion of their choice in unarmed combat. Cadet Rodriguez, select your opponent. This was the ritual that had broken countless egos. The weakest cadet, publicly defeated, usually withdrew from the Academy within a week. It was considered a mercy, a way to weed out those truly unsuited for military service. Emma's gaze swept across the assembled cadets and locked onto the largest figure present. I choose Champion Korvax of Krell Prime. The arena erupted. Korvax was a legend, undefeated in 347 matches. His chitin armor had never been breached, his reflexes were faster than computer targeting, and his strength could bend Starship hull plating. He stood 9 feet tall, 400 pounds of apex predator evolution. Human, Korvax rumbled as he stepped onto the platform, his 4 arms flexing in sequence. I will try not to kill you, but I make no promises. The superintendent raised one crystalline appendage. Standard rules apply. Combat ends at submission, incapacitation, or my intervention. Begin. Korvax launched forward with terrifying speed, closing the distance in a blink. His primary arms swept in a pincer movement designed to grab and crush. Emma didn't dodge. Instead, she stepped into his attack. What happened next took exactly 2.3 seconds. Emma's hands moved in a blur too fast for most species to track. She struck twice at points on Korvax's thorax, targeting nerve clusters that no Krell armor could protect. Korvax's charge became a stumble. Emma dropped low, sweeping his forward leg while her palm struck his knee joint with surgical precision. The champion of Krell Prime crashed to the crystalline floor. Before he could recover, Emma's elbow found the exposed nerve bundle at the base of his skull, a weakness she'd memorized from xenobiology texts. Her other hand twisted his primary arm into a lock that leveraged his own strength against himself. Korvax, undefeated champion, tapped the floor 3 times in rapid succession. Submission. The arena was absolutely silent. Emma released him immediately and stood, offering her hand. Korvax, stunned, accepted it and pulled himself up. Ow, he managed. Emma smiled, the first real smile any of them had seen from her. You all assumed Earth's gravity made us weak. You never asked what it made us good at. The superintendent moved forward, its ancient voice filled with something that might have been satisfaction. Explain, Cadet. Earth has 1.0 gravity, Emma said, addressing the entire arena now. Most of your worlds range from 0.4 to 0.7. You've all grown up in environments where strength comes easy, where speed requires less effort, where your bodies don't fight against crushing weight every single day. She gestured to Korvax. The champion is incredibly strong by any measure, but he's never had to develop the kind of precise, efficient movement that humans need just to function. Every species here is faster, stronger, more durable than me in absolute terms. But I've spent my entire life learning to do more with less, to find the perfect angle, the exact pressure point, the most efficient leverage. Emma looked directly at Commander Thelkor. You called me weak. You're right. By your standards, I am. But humanity didn't get to the stars by being strong. We got here by being stubborn, adaptable, and really, really good at making every ounce of effort count. Korvax's mandibles clicked, but this time with respect. You studied our weaknesses. I studied everyone's everything, Emma replied. Anatomie, psychologie, combat doctrine. While you all relied on your natural advantages, I had to learn yours and mine. That's what Earth teaches its warriors. Knowledge is the equalizer. The superintendent's form pulsed with light. Cadet Rodriguez, you have reminded us all of an important lesson. Strength takes many forms. As Emma walked off the platform, the arena remained quiet. Then, slowly, Korvax began to click his mandibles together in the Krell gesture of respect. One by one, other cadets joined in with their own species equivalent. The weakest cadet in Academy history had just become its most feared, and somewhere, back on Earth, in the high-gravity world that had forged her, Emma knew others like her were preparing to follow.